You know, but like I said at the onset of the show, I got a really great person here tonight, multifaceted, multi-talented, a community activist, a worldwide communicator, into dance and things like that. She's gonna do a piece for us right now. If you don't know where you come from, then you don't know where you're going. Yeah. You know, we want to welcome Dot right now. Oh!
Babylon, we sat down and wept. When we remember Zion, we hang our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there, they that carried us away captive required of us a song. And they that wasted us with their mirth saying, aha, now we want you to sing us one of your songs of Zion. But how? How could we sing our songs in this strange land? I started like theater in the 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade. I played baby bear in the Three Little Bears.
Wow. So you were the star in school in drama.
Well, a lot of people laughed at me because they thought that was nothing being baby bear. You know, you're baby bear. You're not mama bear, papa bear, or the wolves or nobody. Right. But often directors have told them when they laugh, they says, I don't know why you're laughing, because if I need anybody to cry, I'm going to use her. Right. Yeah, so then that led me on to going out to California with my relatives and all, and reading the newspaper and hearing about a theater company after I had joined the theater company in Birmingham, Alabama, where I'm from. And I don't know where they are. I look at the stars, and they look at the stars, and somehow I feel better. I'm one of the little girls that marched in the 60s. I left school.
So I'm told.
Yeah, I left school to go marching, and my mom said she's going to kill me, and I said, I don't know why you're going to kill me, because don't you want to be free? So that's one of my songs now that I do with the youth. You know, don't you want to be free? Take a look at me. Don't you want to stand tall? Take a look at me. Don't
How
you
you love that, huh? Yeah. Now, hold on now. Back it up a little bit. You say you left dancing for a minute to go march. You talking about the march in Selma?
Well, this was in Birmingham, Alabama, and when the children all went to school, went to jail, and they put the dogs in the fire hoses.
You were a part of that.
I was the one. They used the youth to get the march to moving. So they begged for us outside the windows, and my 5th grade homeroom teacher said, "I'm not going to tell you all to go, and I'm not going to tell you to stay." And
that's what your teacher said.
That's what she said. And I jumped up and said, well, I'm going. Because I had been hearing in the neighborhood the talk of how everybody was afraid of what was going on and what was going to go down.
Right, about the march and stuff like that. And you said the adults were baiting you to come out?
Yeah, they were standing outside the window. You know how
like parents, like the parents of the children?
The brothers and sisters and the older crowd. And we were 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th graders. We were the elementary. So we left there and we marched over to the high school.
How did that make you feel, knowing, because you were cognizant of what you were doing, sounds like. Yeah. So how did it make you feel?
I felt like I was going to be somebody. Even though my mother said she was going to kill me when she said, when I get home, I'm going to tear your behind up.
At the moment, you felt really proud, though, and you wasn't thinking about no whooping.
No, I wasn't. And you know, I really didn't think about anything until we got downtown, and then they told us, now you all go back. You all go back. And we
Who were telling you that?
The adults that had told us to come out and go. They told us then to go back. And so we're like from right here to downtown walking.
Right, wow.
So it dawned on me, well, how are we supposed to get back home?
Right.
And that's when I called my mother, and she told me, because I had been riding the bus. You know, you go to the back of the bus. When you pay your money in the front, you go to the back of the bus.
Okay.
And then even if there were seats up front, you couldn't sit down.
Right.
You had to stand at the back of the bus.
Who tells you to go to the back of the bus?
The bus driver, everybody knew, your parents, everybody knew that if you got on that bus in the front and put your money in that bus, you had to get off the back of the bus. Sometimes I tell people my hand hurt now because you know how the bus, you had to pull that flap to, it wasn't like the bus driver opened it for you to come get in. You had to.
What happened if you sat up front?
Oh, you would get thrown off the bus. You would
Wow.
you would get thrown off the bus and no time, just like Miss Rosa Parks. That was a true story. A lot of people think that's imaginary. But Miss Rosa Parks, and that was a young lady that sat on the bus that they didn't, you know, once it was all heard how they had done her, then that's when the NAACP, CLC, and all of them got together and formed a strategy for Mrs. Parks to go and take part in this.
Wow.
To be the one to go to jail.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's a true story. I walk this world looking for truth. I'm a sojourner looking for truth. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long, long ways from home. I'm a long, long way.
With that experience, and you were actually involved in that, what did you think of Martin Luther King Jr. at the time, and what do you think of him now?
You know, my mother passed away, and when she passed away, she had this like little, you could put your whatnots on the shelf, they call it. Little,
Yeah, right,
and
knickknacks and whatnots.
inside there was a picture of Dr. King that I had put there when I must have been like, I had to be like 10, 11 years old.
Okay.
So I thought he was a remarkable man. Even though when I got to California, one of my white friends she saw my blackness, and she saw how I was, you know, this, that, and she had the nerves to bring to my attention that Dr. King was supposed to have been this womanizer and had women, and you know, I just looked at her, and from that I knew that we're all human.
Yeah.
Nobody is perfect.
Right.
And like I told her, I said, well, he can do no wrong.
Mm. Well, what do you say to people that feel like, you know, he may have even sold the race out? Because some people, you know, cling to the notion that, you know, we didn't have to go looking to drink from the same water fountain as Caucasians or Europeans. We didn't have to go sit at the same restaurants.
Yes,
Matter
we
of
did.
fact, in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921,
Yeah.
the black community was the most wealthiest community in the world at that time.
Yeah.
So, you know, and for Martin to come along and then integrate the races, people take issue with that nowadays. What do you got to say to that?
It would not be the same today. It would not be the same today. I go now since 2010, 10, I've been in Selma, Alabama at the Selma Bridge Crossing Jubilee. These people were actually trampled on. The white woman that come up out of Detroit, Miss Viola Leuzo, that left her family because she wanted to make it better for her children today.
Yeah.
There had to be this. I mean, when I've been spat on, I've been called nigger, I've been almost ran over twice by white men in cars. You know, and I would cry, and they would think it was because I didn't want to wear those saddle Oxfords. You all don't know about those saddle Oxfords back in the day your mom make you wear to school. Well, they actually thought that that's why I was crying, but it was because I had actually been so abused walking to school, walking to and from school. It's so very important that this happened. I can't see it being any other way. Water flows from the earth for lack of roots to hold it. children, children who were murdered before their lives began. Why, who pays his crops to the sun when his fields are parched with drought will mourn the lost water waiting another rain. But who shall disinter these girls to live the women that they were to become, or read the legends that was written beneath their skins? Why, those who love them remember their child's laughter. But he whose hate that robbed them of their good has yet to weep at night above their graves. The years roll out, and rain shall come again. But however many girls be brought to sun, someday a man will thirst for safety in his so-called southern night, seeking his peace where no peace is, and come to mourn these children. Oh God, they were just babies that was given to the dust.